Next, Farm Bureau Insurance presents the MHSAA on Passports and the 1996 football finals. MHSAA On Pass is presented by Farm Bureau Insurance, proud sponsor of the MHSAA Scholar Athlete Award, and by the United Dairy Industry of Michigan, promoting healthy eating habits through the Sports Nutrition Award Program.
From the Pontiac Silverdome, the Michigan High School Athletic Association presents the Class A State Football Championship between the Hawks of Farmington Hills Harrison and the Bulldogs of Grandville High School. Hi again, everyone. I'm Rick Berkey, along with Rob Rubik for a Class A final, which we think will provide a lot of points and a lot of excitement. And the first thing we look at, Rob, both teams here excited to be here, but quite a bit of difference as far as tournament experience, especially at the Silverdome.
Yeah, for Grandville and Coach Troop, this is their first appearance. Then you look on the other side of the ball, Coach Harrington and the Hawks, this is his 10th time in the state finals, Rick, and that's unprecedented.
Both teams high scoring, and we expect it, as we said. However, Grandville throws a little different wrinkle at you. They run a no-huddle offense.
Not only is running a no-huddle offense difficult for a defense to defend, but it presents a wrinkle where your defense doesn't have time to get set, they don't have time to work things through, and you keep them on their heels the whole time.
Now, unlike some previous Harrison teams, this Hawk squad doesn't have a real explosive, dominant player.
Coach Harrington was saying that he might have one Division I player, which is different in the past. Very well balanced. They can throw it, they can run it, they get you from all directions.
One guy to keep an eye on for Farmington Hills Harrison, the guy who makes it go, quarterback Kevin Bambanek.
Yeah, Kevin has thrown for over 1,300 yards this year. He runs for about 150, 200 yards. He's a coach's dream. He can throw. He makes good decisions when he's putting the ball down the field.
And for Grandville, he's a triple threat, and that is Eric Vandenberg, number 33.
You'll see Coach Troop sometimes flex him out, use him as a receiver. He has good power inside, and he also has the breakaway speed, which is also a coach's dream.
Well, we're ready for the Class A final. We hope you are as well. We'll be back with the kickoff in just a moment. One of your sponsors is Farm Bureau Insurance.
In every corner of the state, Michigan folks receive a special kind of insurance help from Farm Bureau Insurance agents. Help when it counts. People talking with people, and that'll never change. Wherever you live, whatever your lifestyle, your Farm Bureau agent is near you and has one objective.
We're making your future more predictable. Farm Bureau Insurance.
Farm Bureau Insurance.
And now let's make that random call with today's $10,000 question. Who shot Alexander Hamilton in that famous duel? Hello, for $10,000. Excuse me? Oh, I'm sorry, your time is up.
Got milk?
From the Silverdome, the Class A game ready to go, and we are underway. Short kickoff coming down at the 25. Chris Ganem brought down right about the 30-yard line, and Farmington Hills Harrison will start it. Let's check their offense. Joe Pirelli, Brett Foster, Brian Lewis, Francis Goshai, Mike Fisher, and Mike Hoyt on the line. We'll talk about the backfield a little bit later on. Let's check out the Grandville defense. Guys to keep an eye on as well. Brian Pinder, number 80. Kelly Krups, the linebacker, number 8. Those are the leading tacklers and keys to that Grandville defense. With that I formation, on first down a throw, and complete for a first down. Well, Rob, they didn't waste any time, as Bambanek showed his versatility and ability on the first play from scrimmage.
All they do is a little bit of flood. They run the first back into the flat here. It's a little play action. You run Shive into the flat, and they do a triple stretch, and then you drag the tight end across the field. And the second deep area, and they send the split in all the way across to the deep third.
Sophomore Mike Hode with the reception and the first down for the Hawks, moving it left to right. And an interesting color combination here between these two squads as well. And a whistle before the play. It'll be a 5-yard march off. Harrison, a veteran. Why don't we take a look at the officials? We see Frank Trumbull. He's the referee making the signal and the call right now. We have a Northern and Upper Peninsula crew here. Robert McNamara, William Frazier, Robert Thaxton, and Brian Sinclair as well. 5-yard march off against the Hawks makes it 1st and 15. Working out of that eye. Rolling left, Bambanek. Out on the flat for another first down. Nick Scheib, senior up back. I think I might have been premature in calling it first down. He got about 9. It'll be 2nd and 1. Nate Golan on the tackle.
Here we see Bambanek rolling out. You see Scheib, the fullback, slip into the flat. Once again, they're stretching the defense. They run him in the flat, and they run the split in off deep. He just drops it in over the linebacker. Well-executed play by Harrison. Once again, you can see. Nice catch by Scheib. He turns up the field. This is, I think, Nick's 3rd year with Harrison. He was here 2 years ago as a starter also.
We see the power eye for the first time, and Kevin Bambanek follows his center, Brian Lewis, who gets enough of a surge for another Hawks first down.
Right now we're seeing, I think with Coach Harrington, I talked to a little before the game, you see him put the ball in the air. Grandville comes out in a 4-4 defense, which only allows you 3 defensive backs, and it makes it a good opportunity if you're a passing team to exploit it.
Kelly Krebs on the tackle, but it's a 3rd straight first down for Harrison. Deep back is Sarsfield. That time the Grandville defense stiffens. Sean Sarsfield, a 5'11 senior, picked up over 500 yards. And he had a big day last week in the semifinals, 160 yards and 3 touchdowns. That time, though, Nate Golan brought him down for the Dogs. Nate got some help from Kelly Krebs. We'll hear those names a lot defensively. Keep an eye on Ricky Bryant, number 1. He's split out wide to the left. First back through, and again, the Grandville linebacker Kelly Krebs right there along with Jason Fritz.
That time, Harrison just runs a little fullback trap inside. Krebs read it quickly, stepped up and filled. You see right here. Good job by Krebs reading, coming over. Someone down underneath the pile. I think that was number 66, Jason Fritz, who had the first hit.
3rd down and 6 now for Harrison. First possession of the game. Scoreless tie in the first quarter. He sends Sarsfield in motion. He's being pressured. He eludes one man. On the fly, it's picked off by Jackson. Kirby Jackson picks it off for Grandville.
I think we may get a pass interference call. Official threw his flag.
Might have been just the beanbag, Rob, on the return of the interception, but let's check it. Oh,
I saw a little bit of contact to the shallow receiver by the linebacker from Grandville, but I'm not sure what the call was.
officials will sort it out now. In any case, Kirby Jackson has shown the flair for the dramatic. He returned an interception for a touchdown.
Oh, they call.
And it's interference against Grandville, negating what would have been a turnover for Harrison.
Right here we have great pressure. Pinder comes from the end and he contains, makes Bambanek try to get out the other way. Fritz just misses him, and as he throws down the field, he's thrown to the deep receiver, some contact. Take a look right here. I think there's a little bit of bumping going on. We need to look right there by number 4, even though he...
There's a look at legendary coach John Harrington of Farmington Hills Harrison, his 27th year, the only head football coach Farmington Hills Harrison has ever had. And he's had a little bit of success, Rob.
I think he's like something like 250 and 52, and when you have that type of success, you don't get replaced very often.
82% for a career winning percentage. On first down, Bambanek to the air again. Shive, or make that Sarsfield, knocked out just at the 1. Sean Sarsfield has also caught 15 passes this year, as well as running for over 500. bumped out by Jerry Stelma.
Here we see Bamanick under center. Once again, they're just flooding. They run the back in the flat. They drag their tight end. They bring their split end all the way across deep. So it's you got 1, 2, 3 tiered receivers, and they're stretching the Grandville defense right now. Here's a wide shot. You're going to see the tight end come here, the back in the flat, and they're going to drag the split end, and they get a triple stretch.
Well, watch the up back, Nick Scheib. Then the quarterback keeps and scores. The Harrison Hawks draw first blood as Kevin Bamanick, again behind center Brian Lewis, puts Harrison on the board.
A well-executed drive by Harrison. They mix a little run, quite a bit of pass. They obviously have seen something in the Grandville defense they feel they can exploit.
Both teams have excellent place-kicking units. Zach Cornwell has converted 93% of his boots. The holder is Kevin Bamanick. Matt Walker is the long snapper for the Hawks. And the kick is good for a 7-0 Harrison lead.
A wonderful drive by Harrison. Brian Lewis leading Bamanick over from the quarterback sneak. It's the second sneak they had in the drive. Once again, Rick, I think we need to point out.
Can I get some milk, please?
She got the last one.
Excuse me, I'll be right back, okay?
I need 2 specials. All right, let's not take half of the huh?
You become a sweet taste in my mouth.
Ooh.
And I know you're gonna. Oh, yeah.
I see.
Got milk. Check, please.
Whether they live on the farm, in the country, the suburbs, or downtown, Farm Bureau Insurance serves them all. Life, home, retirement, auto, business.
We're making your future more predictable. Farm Bureau Insurance.
Farm Bureau Insurance.
The kick will go to the dangerous Eric Vandenberg, but the whistle will negate it. We have a whistle on the kickoff and perhaps an offside violation on the kicking team or the receiving team. Let's check it. An impressive drive, though, by the Hawks to jump out on top, culminating in the 1-yard plunge by Kevin Bamanick.
Yeah, I think last week, Grandville, you saw the game we did against Lapeer West. They struggled a little bit against the passing attack, and I'm sure Coach Harrington had them scouted. And he came right out of the get-go, throwing the ball a little bit and exploited their secondary. And he may try to force Grandville to get out of that 4-4, maybe into a 4-3 with 4 defensive backs.
I believe what happened here, Rob, is that they were being very courteous for our sake. They kicked off before we were ready to go. Well, we appreciate them waiting for us. In any case, now we'll go. Zach Cornwell will boot it off. He just kicked yet another extra point for Harrison. Eric Vandenberg standing back at the 2 for Grandville. Instead, they'll kick it to Jimmy Lee at the 14. Across the 25 and the 30. To the 32, Ed Height on the tackle for Harrison. Let's check out the Grandville offense. Up front, Scott Hugawin, Cole, Meckus, Bosworth, and Pinder, as well as Derek Buford. Quarterback Dick Morton and company. We'll talk about the offense, but here's that Harrison defense. Burgess, Goshai, number 71. Keep an eye on him. You'll hear his name. Mayberry, McGee, Lewis on the line. Then Height, Scheib, and Sarsfield, the active linebacking core for Harrison, which has a 7-0 lead. We'll see Grandville run out of that no-huddle offense from start to finish. And Vandenberg on first down gets big yardage off the left side, and he'll go right into it, Rob, with that no-huddle.
Yeah, all they do, they come out in this like the Air Force broken bone. They fake the dive, and they just lead through with Key, and Vandenberg follows for a nice game. Some good movement up front by the offensive line, led by Ben Scott.
Nice pickup of 9 for senior Eric Vandenberg. And Grandville will get a whistle here. And I believe somebody lined up in the neutral zone, and that'll be a violation. And we'll get a chance to listen in on Franklin Trumbull, the referee from Iron Mountain, and was one of the dogs.
Dead ball encroachment on the offense. So second down.
2nd and 6, quite a bit different from 2nd and 1, Rob.
Yeah, it changes what you're wanting to do. It's such a good job to get a 7-8 on the first down. It just puts a crimp in your drive.
Lee in motion. They'll keep it on the ground with Chris Key. Chris Key, a 6-foot senior, 220 pounds, has that rare combination of strength and speed, but Francis Goshai, the 6'3", 285er, wrapped him down after a short gain. 3rd and 5. Jimmy Lee on the counter will not get enough. He's still fighting, and good a second effort by Jimmy Lee makes it close, but it'll be bring up about a 4th down and a 1.5 yards for the Bulldogs.
You see here, they fake the dive, they bring Jimmy back on the wing counter, and he does an excellent job. He picks up 2 or 3 extra yards. He keeps fighting. You got to be careful, watch that ball. And the refs game every bit of his forward progress. Brings up a 4th and 1.
So Dick Morton into punt for Grandville, averaging 32.5 yards a kick, and Ricky Bryant, a threat, back to receive.
You got to be careful with Harrison here because Morton is also the quarterback for Grandville, does the punting, so it sets up a prime opportunity to run a fake punt.
Kirby Jackson is the up back should they try a short snap. Instead, Morton will boot it away, and it's a good one. Bryant from the 14. There's no blocks out there. His knee went down, actually, before he was hit. And good coverage there after a nice return of about 13 yards by Mr. Bryant.
You see Ricky here trying to get up the field. He slips a little bit, takes a knee, and the ball is dead in high school, and the knee goes down. The Grandville team was there to make sure that he didn't get anything further in case the refs didn't see his knee touch.
Bryant, number 1, just the 2nd freshman starter ever for Farmington Hills Harrison. The other guy was okay, too, a guy named Mill Coleman.
Yeah, he wasn't too bad.
Mill the thrill on 1st down. Up back Nick Scheib. He's banged his way for over 850 yards, brought down quickly on that one. There's a good look at one of the up men for Harrison. Brian Lewis, the center. Kelly Krebs again on the tackle. 2nd down and 9, about midway through our first quarter here. Bamenek with that strong arm. Bryant will go the distance. Touchdown, Harrison.
Unbelievable play. So well executed off of play action.
Beautifully thrown, and Bryant with a great running catch of a 72-yard scoring play for Harrison.
This is nothing fancy. It's a straight drop back by Bamenek. He lets it go, and Bryant just shows his outstanding speed. He just runs away from the defender. A wonderful effort, but he couldn't quite get it. Once again, Bryant makes an outstanding play. Harrison jumps up to a quick 14-0 lead with the extra
Zach
point.
Cornwell with the extra point, and it's a 14-0 lead for Harrison. This game is part of our 3-week package of high school football championship coverage here on Passports. Saturday afternoon at 5:30, you can catch the Class C finale between Ravenna and Morenci, followed by the Class B championship between Belding and Jackson Lumen Christi on December 18th at 7 p.m. Stay with us all month as the best in high school championship sports coverage continues here on Pass. Another look at that perfectly thrown football from Kevin Bamenek to Ricky Bryant.
You see here is nothing fancy. It's a straight drop back. All they're saying is our split end's a little bit faster in your corner. They get man-to-man coverage down the sideline. He airs out, lets Bryant run underneath it. Well executed. Actually, the play was defended quite well by number 5, Kirby Jackson, but he just couldn't quite get his hand on it.
One of the longest plays of the year, probably the Grandville sideline has seen, but those two players connected for a 99-yard scoring toss earlier this season.
Well, this is kind of deja vu for Grandville, except in a reverse order. Last week, they jumped ahead of Lapeer West 14-0 early on, and were able to stiffen up and hold and win the game 20-14. Let's see what they can get going here. An asset to Grandville right now, Rick, is their no-huddle offense. They're down 14 points, but they're a running team, and they'll go the length of the field in 3 minutes, as you've seen during the course of the season.
Yes, it does give you a great advantage in that you're running, in effect, a 2-minute offense from the start of the game. Zach Cornwell will boot it away again. Grandville hopes that number 33 will get it, and he will at about the 7. This is Eric Vandenberg. Couple nice moves out to the 25 where the Bulldogs will start, down by a couple of scores. This is East meets West. Farmington Hills Harrison from the northern suburb of Detroit. And Grandville, of course, a southwest suburb of Grand Rapids.
Here's another look at Vandenberg on the kickoff. Excellent coverage by Harrison. They stayed in lanes well, limits them to about a 20-yard return.
So on first down, keep it with Chris Key, who bangs his way for about 5 or 6. And I mentioned this young man has strength as well as speed. And we got a chance to see some of the strength there.
Well, I know he has some speed, and we might get a chance to see it, but you can take a look at this young man, Chris Key. Showed some unbelievable strength in this last play. You watch, he gets first contact maybe about right at line of scrimmage through 1 tackle, through 2's dragging 3, 4 slid off, and he picks up 7 yards. Excellent effort.
And he's still going forward when he finally is down. On the counter, Vandenberg, plenty of room to run, and he just stepped out of bounds. It'll be a first down for Grandville, but very close to a whole lot more.
I'll tell you what, Chris Knox, even though he does not make the tackle from his corner position for Harrison, actually may save a touchdown. They fake the dive the key. Here comes the wing counter. Right here, he comes up hard, as you'll see in the bottom of your screen, right there, and forces Vandenberg outside. That play actually is designed to cut inside the corner.
Key blocked there by Derek Buford for the Dogs, who will keep it in the hands of number 30, Chris Key. Chris Key over 1,200 yards on the season and 5 yards per carry plus 11 touchdowns. Chris Burgess brought the other Chris down.
1,200 yards, and he wasn't their leading rusher, was he? I think Eric Vandenberg was.
2 of them combined for 2,500 yards on the ground this season.
Spread the wealth.
On second down, quick handoff to Key off the left side, and the Harrison defense closed nicely. It looked like, Rob, there was an opening there for a moment, but a good reaction defensively by the Hawks.
Yeah, by Harrison's defensive line, led by defensive tackle Francis Gauchai. Here's a nice wide view of it coming down the line. They do a real good job of moving laterally. A good job by the corner coming up and filling.
Third down and a long 2 for Grandville. Trying to get into Harrison territory for the first time. And Dick Morton, a heads-up quarterback. You have to be to run that no-huddle offense, and he staggered to count nicely to draw the defense offside.
Well, being an ex-tight end and mostly a lineman, I guess you call myself, I think the people get the credit on that as your offensive line.
On the defense.
The quarterback, he's doing the cadence. He's giving the hard count, but for your offensive line to stay there to hold their water and not jump, that takes real discipline, and it's a credit to Coach Troop and the Bulldogs.
To hold their water?
Well, it's a hold. That's an old saying. I'm showing my age now.
On first down, a quick pop pass out on the right side, and Pinder has room to run for Grandville. Brian Pinder, as they fake the dive inside, finally bumped out by Kareem Smart.
Okay, let's take a look right here, Rick. All they're going to do is leak Pinder into the flat, but look how many Hawks are up. You got all 11 Hawks are within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. With the play action, faking the key, they slip Pinder out into the flat, and there's no one within 5 yards. This is a young man a lot of MAC schools are taking a look at right now, too.
Two-way starter is Brian Pinder. On the counter, Vandenberg wrapped up, fights for a couple more.
Tremendous play by number 71, Gauchai, on that one. He got rid of the blocker and moved down line of scrimmage. Was able to make it for a short gain when in a minute it looked like it was going to be another big gain on the wing counter.
6'3", 285. There's a look at John Harrington, also the baseball coach at Harrison for over 20 years, so we may name the school after him when he retires. second and long. Chris Key will get a few, bringing up a 3rd and 5. There's Mr. Goshai again at the tackle there, number 30, Chris Key.
Well, it brings up about a 3rd and 5, but not as bad as you think right now, Rick, because you have 2 downs. You're in 4-down territory. In Grandville, with their no-huddle offense and it's a primary running offense, they still have 2 downs to get it here, although they do have an excellent kicker.
There's Harrison, some confusion on the substitutions here. And that no-huddle certainly has to be part of the problem. Vandenberg will get inside the 15 for another dog first down.
I'll tell you what, Rick, he's got a horse leading him. Chris Key, number 30. They run the motion again. They bring Vandenberg in motion. They fake the Key, and he's the lead blocker, as you can see right there. And then Vandenberg with just an excellent second effort. Grandville backs run extremely hard. With the 2,500 yards they got this year, obviously shows. Got a little spread formation. This is a new wrinkle. Watch 33 Vandenberg in the seam sometimes.
Derek Buford is split out wide to the left. Pinder to the right. Dick Morton looks it over. This is Vandenberg with room to run and fumbled the ball, but he was down on contact. Grandville, I believe, recovered it anyway, right at the 1-yard line. Boy, good blocking up front that time, and they changed that formation.
Not only good blocking, Rick, excellent job by Coach Troop. What he's doing here, he comes out in a spread formation. He widens the Hawks a little bit, enables the wing counter to come back inside. He's spreading out the guard tackle gaps and the tackle tight end gaps and making more running room and making Harrison respect that opportunity to pass that he shows with that formation.
We'll see if Dick Morton follows his center, Pat Cole. Instead, he'll give it to Chris Key, and Grandville's on the board.
There's a good look at the crowd. Grandville celebrating right now as they're back in the game, make it 14-6. I know Rick wanted to see Dick Morton sneak it there, but when you got a horse like number 30, Chris Key, that's why Rick's up here and he's not a coach. There's a handoff right there, Chris Key. I don't think so. Ricky Bryant's a tremendous player, but that's about 215 pounds coming at you.
Zach Albert, who plays soccer for Grandville as well as football, 86% on extra point conversions this year. Kirby Jackson is the holder. And Kelly Krebs the long snapper, and the deficit is cut in half. 14-7 now, and that was a big, big drive for the Bulldogs. We come in here, Harrison here for the 10th time, Rob, the 10th time, the first time ever for Grandville. And to get down by 2 touchdowns, it's tough.
Let's take another look. Let's look at how wide right now Grandville has the gaps. They're really spreading out the Harrison, Farmington Hills Harrison defense. It's just a good straight ahead blocking. Pinder comes down from the tight end, does a good job collapsing it. Well, we just talked about before they start that drive, Rick, that with the no-huddle offense, they've been known to have 3-minute scoring drives. We missed it by 44 seconds.
Well, a 73-yard Harrison drive followed by a 74-yard counter by their adversaries. And here's a good look at Doug Troop, his 11th year heading up the Grandville Bulldog program. And now Zach Albert will kick it off for Grandville. He was not the kickoff man during the season, the regular season. Maybe the artificial turf has changed that. Over towards the sideline.
It's a live ball.
Dangerous live handle there. And boy, Chris Gannum took a pop or two.
An excellent job. Once again, nice coaching move by Coach Troop. He puts the tee on the far hash and then kicks a high kick across the field, enables his people on the left side to get down and cover very quick. Right here, by the time he catches the ball, the defender is only 2 yards away. And I think that shows a little bit of respect for number 1, Ricky Bryant, who's their deep man on the kickoff.
Good point, Rob. Adam Smarecki split out wide to the left on first down, and somebody, I think, leaned over into the neutral zone. There's some great family stories here. We'll talk about a couple of them today as they march off against Harrison.
Encroachment. On the
You've
offense.
heard us already mention
Still first
Nick
down.
Scheib, the Scheib family. Mom and Dad, Tony and Mary Ann, have had 3 sons who have won a combined 5 state championships. And Nick has already won 1. He was a starting sophomore on this team. And they're going for number 6. And imagine that. 3 kids and at least 5 titles.
They should get season tickets here, I think.
For life. And here's another whistle.
I think we're having offsides against Grandville's right defensive end that time. We got, although my spotter Steve Warner was telling me we may have a procedure call against Harrison.
We've got dual help up here, Steve, and
dead ball.
Statman dude Dan Edwards.
False start on the offense.
We better listen to our spotters. They're right on top of it, Rob.
My problem is I'm talking too much. I'm not watching, I guess.
By the way, you mentioned Dan in the game just prior to this. His 100th consecutive state final here at the Pontiac Silverdome. So congratulations to Dan for reaching the century mark in games watched, and he's almost there in age as well.
I thought it's been 100 years, yeah.
So it's 1st and 20 now for the Hawks. On the counter, Bryant looking to turn the corner, and Chris Key gave him a nice hello at the sideline.
That was a good job. I think Jason Pinder got hooked a little bit at the defensive end and able Bryant to get outside. We're going to see right here, you can see a good hook block. We see Bryant goes in motion, comes back. There he is on reverse. We get a good hook block on Pinder. But Key shows some good speed for a 215-pound fullback. Gives him just a little love tap out of bounds.
Intensely watching John Harrington. He's won 17 conference championships at Harrison. Vandenek to the air again. Pretty good coverage over there by Grandville's Brian Fuhrer.
Well, we're seeing Grandville's defense has made a slight adjustment. They're starting to widen their linebacker in the 4-4 in passing situations, enabling him to get out to the middle area in the flat to get to the hook area. And that time he was there, and the ball had to be thrown the only place it could. It was out in front of the receiver and out of play.
Third and long now for the Hawks, leading by a touchdown. Single coverage over on Bryant on the left. And the draw play to Matt Reed, a sophomore who's been pretty impressive for Harrison. Averages 5.5 yards a carry. He got about that, but it's 4th down. Kelly Krebs on the tackle, and the Bulldog crowd below us roars for its defense.
Excellent play by number 8, Kelly Krebs. He took on the lead blocker on the draw and slid off, was able to make the play. If he doesn't make the play right here, I think he takes on Scheib. He slides off, makes the play.
Off the side of the punt there of Joe Ganem, and it rolls out of bounds. He got a pretty good roll, so it didn't turn out to be as bad as we expected. Grandville will huddle right in front of their bench and then go right to the line of scrimmage.
You're going to see right here what the type of pressure no huddle will put on a defense. Not only do you have to be aware and alert with your calls, you have to be in shape, Rick. Because what people say is, it's much harder for a defense on a drive. They don't get as tired because all 11 have to chase the ball down. It really takes its wear and tear on a defense.
After the 36-yard punt, Grandville with good starting position. Vandenberg with a big hole. Center Brian Lewis, I know one guy got a good block in there. Making the tackle was Ed Height. Ed's a 6'1 senior, 192-pounder. And a nice pickup on 1st down.
I think it was Pat Cole, number 65, the center for Grandville, did a nice job blocking back, along with his left guard, Matt Hogwin.
Second down and 4 for Grandville. Chris Key is very close to 1st down yardage. I mentioned the Scheib family story for Farmington Hills Harrison. For Grandville, how about the Johnson family? Bob and Sally Johnson had 9 kids, and all of them Grandville graduates. Most of them married other Grandville kids. They had 22 grandchildren, Rob, and that family, the Johnson family, Grandville, has a party of 52 people here at the Silverdome today to watch this game. 2 of them playing in the band.
Well, the MHSAA will appreciate that to help fund athletics in the state for another year.
They have their own section down below us. Jimmy Lee with good speed. Lee could go.
I don't think so. Number 1.
Bryant ran him down,
have another look at it here. Let's take a look at number 55, the linebacker, Ed Height right here. Excellent. Jimmy Key turns him in. Lee pops outside. If it wasn't for the great speed of Bryant, number 1, the safety coming across the field to run Jimmy Lee, we'd be tied up right now.
44-yard pickup. And on the counter this time, the Harrison defense is wise to that. And Vandenberg takes a couple of good hits. Chris Burgess was in there for Harrison.
And also Mr. Height, number 55, says, you blocked me once. You tried to block me twice. I'm going to be ready. That time he filled. There's a picture of Height. Did a nice job stepping up and filling inside. Harrison, I was down on the field before the game, aren't really big. There's Vandenberg, 7 carries for 45 yards already. Harrison wasn't, I don't think, as big as Grandville, but they have a lot of kids that all look around like 200, 205 pounds and show they have good team speed.
A little equipment problem there for Grandville's Joel Meckes, and he's got to come out and I think adjust his helmet. So officials timeout. We're in the final minute of play here. I kiddingly said before the game to somebody in the press box, I said, I don't think 28 points will win this game, and I might have been underestimating the offenses at that.
Yeah, right now the offenses are executing very well. But in games like this, sometimes you see the defense start making a few adjustments, and things will start to slow down as the game goes on.
67, Casey Brink is in there for Meckes on this play. Chris Key keeps that surge going down near the 6-yard line. And that will probably be our final play. Normally I'd say that, but with this no-huddle offense, you never know. Sean Sarsfield, two-way starter for Harrison on the tackle.
Number 30, Jimmy Key, he looks like a football player. He's got the elbow pads on. He's got the shirt tied up a little bit, belt hanging. He's ready to go.
And there's the end of a very exciting first quarter of action with Farmington Hills Harrison leading Grandville 14-7, and you're watching the MHSAA on Pass. At the Pontiac Silverdome, Farmington Hills Harrison on top of Grandville by a touchdown, but the Bulldogs are just 6.5 yards away from knotting the score with an extra point. But first, they've got to do something about this 3rd down and 5. An option left. And Farmington Hills Harrison played it beautifully. 5 white and yellow uniforms out there smothering Vandenberg. Adam Smarecki, one of the first to get there.
Now here we see it here. Without any type of deception, they ran a little fake dive on an option. A team like Harrison has great lateral speed, sideline to sideline. And the pursuit caught up with it just took a little bit too long to develop. We have a timeout. You may see Coach Troop, official timeout, you may see Coach Troop come out with a field goal team.
So there's a break in the action with a score 14-7 Harrison. One of your sponsors is the United Dairy Industry of Michigan.
You moron!
Fanatic.
You stink! Yeah, 41, you stink! Ref, you're an idiot! Boo! Boo! Kid, you're a moron!
Fan.
Defense, out of way. They're looking good. Teamwork. Take a shot. Yeah!
Be a fan, not a fanatic.
Tom, can I make a suggestion?
You're fired!
Welcome to eternity.
Heaven. Yeah.
Grandma. Got milk?
Following the timeout, Zach Elbert will apparently attempt, I should say, a 26-yard field goal. Kirby Jackson kneeling at the 16. Long snapper is Kelly Krebs. Spot, kick, and he drills it. A 26-yard field goal by Zach Elbert.
Would have been good from 45. He got all of it.
Well, the two-sport star for Grandville, making it a 14-10 contest, and we've got ourselves a wide-open affair.
I'm enjoying it, Rick. That's for sure. We're going to see Harrison right now has 5 guys going both ways compared to 2 for Grandville. We'll see if this no huddle as the game goes on takes its toll.
Now, this is the first game that Grandville has played on artificial turf. Not sure about Harrison. Rob, what about the adjustments?
Well, it's a quicker game. It's a little bit of a faster game, and the team usually with the better athletes will benefit from a turf game. What happens is it makes the faster teams even a little bit faster, and the slow teams don't get much faster. Believe me, I was a slow runner. I know turf didn't help me much. I was basically slow on grass or turf.
There's a look at Doug Troop, the head coach of the Grandville Bulldogs. Got his team to the semifinals in 1990. There's the large and enthusiastic Grandville cheerleading squad.
Let's see, once again, they have it teed up on the right side. Last time they kicked across the field, keeping it away from Ricky Bryant. Let's see if they do the same. They kicked a high pooch kick to the left.
See if Bryant does try to follow that strategy again. High kick and more to the middle. But again, this one is bobbled. Nice recovery by Harrison's Chris Ganem. And he makes a decent return out of it as well. Could have been disastrous, but good field starting position for the Hawks. Good look at Chris Ganem. He's a junior, played as a sophomore under John Harrington. Picked up over 300 yards on the ground this year. First down to the second back, Sean Sarsfield. Sarsfield, over 500 yards and 5 yards a carry. Got about his average on first down. So each team doing well on their first down play.
That was just a straight lead. Sarsfield following Shive through the middle. Some good hard running also by the Harrison backs. Let's see if he goes back to passing game on second and short.
Out of that power eye. Get to the deep back, Sarsfield again, and that time the Grandville defense reacted nicely. We'll bring up about a 3rd down and 3 as Jason Fritz in on the tackle.
That time Grandville got good penetration line of scrimmage, and Sarsfield kind of hesitated once he got the ball and enabled the rest of the defense to get penetration, stopping for about a half a yard gain, bringing up a 3rd and 2.
John Harrington in the Silverdome for the 10th time. Unbelievable. He's won 7 state championships in 3 different classes. Class A, double B, and B. And he's back in the A finale again. Bambanek pressured. First down catch. Good coverage over there by Kirby Jackson, but making the catch, Sarsfield out of the backfield. He's already caught a couple of key passes today for the Hawks.
Harrison's doing a nice job. They mix up. This time you see Sarsfield leak out into the flat. Nice play, good penetration. Shy missed the block a little bit, but Sarsfield leaked out into the flat, and the linebacker wasn't able to get up there in time, and the corner couldn't close in time.
Hawks moving it again. Bambanek. The flag is down. Room to run down the sideline. Could be a Harrison touchdown, but check out the flag. I think it's coming back.
I think we got a hold. You see Pinder telling his teammates to come on back. The official indicates we got a holding against Harrison.
Adam Smarecki with a nice catch and an even better run. But the score negated. Brian Pinder was pressuring quarterback Bambanek, and maybe he was the one being held, but no, he was not. But look at the nice throw on the run, and Smarecki really scoots down the sideline.
Kirby Jackson on that last play kind of got caught between a rock and a hard place. He didn't know whether to come up and deliver the hit, I think he was afraid of being there a little bit early and getting interference, and instead he kind of hesitated, raised up, and then enabled the Harrison receiver to catch it and turn up the sidelines, but it's all coming back.
Too bad for Adam Smarecki. He made a terrific play, and Kevin Bambenek with a fine run and throw.
Offense holding from the spot of the foul. Still first down.
I think this is how it should be. They just say offense holding. They don't say holding number 84 like that. As a professional player, you always wish you had a little blind you could pull over your number when you had a holding penalty, because everyone in the stand looked for the program and they looked who they could yell at who had the holding call.
They did call your number a few times.
No, I don't believe so. I held every play, but I got caught early.
Boy, and that's a spot foul, too, from the spot, which makes it first and forever, 31 exactly. Sarsfield on the toss. Little room there.
Right now, what's important for Harrison to do, their chance of getting a first down is a little bit slim when you look at about a 2nd and 20, 28 or whatever. But they do need to pick up some yardage, get out of the hole a little bit, enable their punter to get field position back.
Nick Phelps led the Grandville defensive charge.
Got to look at Krebs right here. I think he used the one as a freshman. He weighed 119 pounds. He wrestled at 119. This year he's wrestling at 180.
185.
185. He's been eating some iron.
Son of the veteran wrestling coach Tom Krebs at Grandville High. Again, a nice throw, but just out of the reach of Sarsfield. But boy, I am really impressed with the arm of Kevin Bambenek.
Well, Kevin's a 3-year starter for Harrison. And in their conference, their division, it's a real well balanced. Here it is, dropping back. They send Sarsfield out of the backfield, and they run the wheel, it's called. And if I had, there's a look, great shot of the ball, tight spiral, and Sarsfield couldn't quite get to it. What they do is they take the split end to the side, and they run him on a post, and then they bring the back out of the backfield. He runs a little bit of a flat, and then down the sidelines, and they run a wheel.
Got a Grandville Bulldog shaken up. Not sure who it is. Chance to flash back, if you can, of the history here at the Pontiac Silverdome. 20 years ago, 1976, the very first finals were played here at the Pontiac Silverdome. It's the second year of the finals because, of course, the first year of the high school state tournament in football was not played. The finals were not played here at the Dome. But back in 1976, Midland Dow won the Class A championship over Farmington Hills Harrison in Class A. Of course, they did not have the 8 divisions at that time. Also back in 1976 in Class B, East Grand Rapids won the crown. In Class C, Flat Rock claimed the championship. And in Class D, Crystal Falls Forest Park, which made its almost annual trek to the Silverdome, prevailed in Class D. Down on the field is Jason Fritz. One of the state's great prep sports spectacles is the MHSAA Lower Peninsula Individual Wrestling Finals. This year, fans attending the Division I and II finals at the Kellogg Arena in Battle Creek and the Division III and IV finals at University Arena can order reserved seat tickets by mail. You can send for an order form after January 1st by writing the MHSAA at 1661 Ramblewood Drive, East Lansing, Michigan, 48823. Be sure to indicate which site you wish to attend when requesting an order form. Boy, good for the Grandville fans to see Jason Fritz coming off the field. He was also injured and then taken to a hospital in a regional tournament game, and they were very concerned. He was down on the field for about 25 minutes, but it appears that he's going to be okay here. Let's hope that he's able to get back into the state finals action. 3rd down and a bunch. In the pocket, Bambenek this time, right on the button, very close to a first down. Mike Hode, the sophomore, with a fine catch of about a 30-yard gain. Hode is averaging over 20 yards per reception, and he got more than that on this one.
You see Bambenek dropping back. Well, they did that time, they just did like a double seam. They motioned Sarsfield out of the backfield on the left side and sent him right down the hash. And then you see Hode right there on the right hash going right down and puts a stretch on the safety. Kind of splits him between 2 people.
4th and 1, but I'm a little suspicious here, Rob. Let's see if they punt it away. They will kick it. Thought they might have a fake on. Grandville did too. They had nobody back there, and fortunately for Grandville, the ball goes out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. Grandville expected a fake there.
But a very effective series, even though they start out deep in their hole. They got all the way back, they got all the yardage they lost, and then punt Grandville inside the 20. And that's Coach Harrington is fundamentally sound as a coach, obviously, with his record and the years he's coached success. And that time he knew this is a game of field position. Give him the 83-yard field. Make him work for it. Don't give him the short porch.
There's Doug Troop, as we said, has won 3 conference titles back in the OK Red.
There's Coach Harrington. He's seen a lot of games, been in a lot of wars, that man.
On first down, Chris Key bangs it off the left side. Key averages 5 yards per carry, and they like to use him on first down. Say he runs the ball on first down, 2 plays for anybody else, anything else they might do.
It gives such balanced attack with his type of power and inside running, and Vandenberg coming off the wing with his speed and shiftiness. And also you got Lee on the other side, who's a fine runner.
In motion is Vandenberg, who takes the handoff and plows near a first down. You mentioned Jimmy Lee, as we got a good look there at Eric Vandenberg picking up what I think is a first down for Grandville. But as you said, the defenses start to adjust, and Key on those 2 guys, Key and Vandenberg, who, as we said, picked up over 2,500 yards this year. And right at that point where they focus on those 2, along comes Jimmy Lee, as we saw earlier, with that 44-yard scamper.
Right. You fake do a lot of motion with Vandenberg, fake the wing counter, then you can always come back and run Lee on the counter the other way.
Off the right side, hammering for a few. We heard the hits up there this time. Good pop in there and good sportsmanship displayed by Kareem Smart. He applied the hit, and I like the way he reached down and picked up the man, and Chris Key got up and he said, hey, I like that. They both like the contact. There's a good look at Smart.
Any John Harrington coach team is going to be very disciplined and sportsmanship and a quality act.
On second down on the counter, trying to get outside Vandenberg, and he got a couple, but although Smart didn't make the tackle that time, he turned him in, and that was his job there.
That was Jimmy Lee coming from the other way, Rick. You set this play up by telling everyone they're going to probably run Jimmy Lee a little bit more, and that time they ran him on the wing counter. Not much there. You see they fake the dive to Key. They come back off tackle. Good penetration inside. There's number 50, Lewis. And number 8 coming up on the defensive side of the ball to put pressure on it and kick it outside.
Third down and a long 2 for Grandville. Down by 4 here midway through the second quarter. Chris Key will plow with second effort. He has that ability to keep the strength, even though he often runs straight up and down.
Yeah, he's not the type of back that's going to make a lot of people miss, but he's going to make a lot of people sore the next day. Here it is, Vandenberg leading through a little bit, Key bouncing off. Brian was right there and met him at the line of scrimmage, but he was able, with his bigger physical presence, just to get about 2 or 3 more yards over the top of Bryant. Brings up a 1st and 10. We got him spread out again here. Wide splits by the line.
Pinder and Buford are the wideouts here. They will go with Jimmy Lee again. Nice cut inside by Lee, and he gets about 6. Nick Shy brought him down. What about the no-huddle offense as you prepare for it? You don't get to face it too often.
No, and even though you practice with it all week, it doesn't matter when you get in the game. When the tempo of the game gets going, you start sucking a little bit of air. Here we see the replay. Good job by Jimmy Lee finding the hole, turning about a 7-yard gain. But it's just a whole different world when you get into it and face it in a game.
Vandenberg is knocked down short of the first down that time. They'll mark his forward progress for about a yard gain. Ed Height
was just helping him back to the huddle a little bit at the end of the play there, showing him which way it was. But good job by Harrison. Sets up a big play, Rick. 3rd and yard and a half. I'm curious. I got to believe that number 30 has got a good opportunity to get the ball here. Chris Key for Grandville.
When they do get into a 3rd and 1 or 2, they do like to keep it in the hands of Mr. Key. But 3rd and 2 will become 3rd and 7. A little bit anxious that time on the left side of the offensive line, so that will change the play, and they'll probably have to go to some type of counter here.
Yeah, as I pointed out earlier, it's nice for the quarterback to be able to use the hard cadence.
Full start on the offense. Still 3rd down.
But the people that really make here it is, a hard count. The left tackle couldn't quite hold his water, as I said earlier, Rick, and your favorite saying of the day. But it really takes a discipline of the offensive line because they're all geared, they're on go, they're ready to just explode off the ball. And they hear the quarterback hard count. Sometimes they get a little blackout in the mind, too, and they jump.
Well, Dick Morton doesn't throw the ball a whole lot this year, but he does like to look for Brian Pinder, a tight end on the right side. And that's who he's looking for. Deflected and incomplete. Pinder was open initially.
I'll tell you what, it's nice to be fast, as Mr. Bryant will show you if we get a look at this next replay. Pinder was going down the field. They did a little play action, and he set up, Morton sat in the pocket, and Pinder was open. You see here, Scheid getting some penetration. But Bryant just absolutely turns around and runs back to make the play. Excellent play. But it was really executed well. The pass was good, nice route, and also good defensive play by Bryant.
So Mr. Bryant, along with Tom Sally, number 22. Correction, it's not Sally, that's Sean Sarsfield back to receive.
I think we have a little motion on Grandville. I think his left guard might have got a little antsy on that one. Once again, the hard cadence got his own lineman.
A dead ball, false start on the offense.
We mentioned Harrison's 10th trip to the finals. This is their 15th time they have made the playoffs. That is second only to Detroit St. Martin de Porres, which has qualified 16 times.
We have a look at the penalty yards. Harrison 5 for 41, Grandville 5 for 30.
This is the second time ever for the Grandville Bulldogs making it in the postseason. Back in 1990, they made it all the way to the semifinals. Here's the snap to Morton. Oh, he boomed that nicely, but Bryant will have some room to run. Oh, a huge block brings a flag.
I think we're going to have a clip. This is going to be brought back about 15 yards. What an excellent punt. Dick Morton, that's 2 punts that he's really driven well down the field.
Bryant took it. Boy, he did not hesitate at all. He saw the wave of red jerseys coming right at him, and they'll mark it back.
We're going to get a look right here. Oh, we just got at the beginning of the picture at the bottom. You saw the clip. Here's another look. I think it's going to be right here. Boom. Well, I tell you what, he got all 15 yards worth. He got his money's worth at least on that one. It was a good hit. It just didn't quite get around to the front side of him. Got him in the back a little bit. Once again, you see the officials making good calls here, and that's why they're here. Rick, these are the best officials the state of Michigan has to offer.
It is just as big an honor to make it to the Silverdome as an official for those gentlemen as it is for the young men out there on the field in uniform.
Well, they're rated throughout the course of the year by the games they do during the regular season, and the coaches aren't always the most giving when it comes to ratings.
Bambanek rolling, pressured by Pinder, and he's got him. Pinder trying to swipe the football as well. He's not satisfied with the sack. He wants the ball.
Pinder does a great job getting up the field. And Bambanek, who's a good athlete, he couldn't quite escape Pinder that time. Off a little play action. They don't really bite too much on it. Didn't fool anyone. Right here, Pinder didn't get, he tried to give him a little juke, but he didn't fall for it. It's a big play for the Bulldogs.
Pop out. Yeah. I believe he was correctly ruled as down at that time, but his knee hit just as the ball came out. But second and very long, and Bambanek from his own end zone. Kirby Jackson will pick it off for Grandville. Here's a flag that will probably move Grandville back, but number 5, Kirby Jackson, who intercepted and ran a pass back for a touchdown in the regional finals, and then made a key play defensively last week in the semifinals, Rob, where a very fine Lapeer West team, defending state champions, almost scored a touchdown to win at the end of the game, but Jackson broke it up, and here he gets another big pick for the Dogs.
What you're going to see right here, this is purely a one-man route. We're going to have a straight drop back, and this is just saying Mr. Bryan is faster than everyone on your defense. He's going straight down the field, nothing fancy. I'm just going to rear back and throw it. He's going to run by you. But Kirby Jackson also has good wheels. He gets a little bit deeper than the deep. Turns it up, and at the end of the play, if we run it through here, we're going to get a look at the clip. We didn't get a chance to look at it, but it was definitely a clip at the end of the play.
I wonder if Bambenek saw Kirby Jackson there, because the one corner, Brian Pueller, was stride for stride, although he had a half step on him, and Jackson came in from the outside.
Yeah, I don't even think that's a read, Rick. I think he's just going to throw it down and hope Bryant can run underneath it. We're going to look right here at the clip. There it is. Good look at it. There it is, right in the back. Yeah, number 46, but I'm not sure that was even a read. He just went straight back and just let it go, and hopefully Bryant could run underneath and run by the defenders, but Jackson came over from his corner. That's a problem when you run a one-man route. Not only was a safety in the middle of the field, the corner had no one threatening his third, so he was able to go deep middle also.
Videotapes of this year's MHSAA football finals are available for purchase through Advanced Video Service in Columbiaville. Each game is $24 and may be ordered by writing Advanced Video Service, 5547 Columbiaville Road, Columbiaville, Michigan 48421. Allow 4 to 6 weeks for delivery. There's a look at some of the enthusiastic fans here at the Silverdome having the time of a life. This telecast is a copyrighted production of the Michigan High School Athletic Association and Pass Sports. No reproduction of the pictures or accounts of this game may take place without the express written permission of the MHSAA and Pass. On first down, Vandenberg. Boy, the hole was closed in a hurry, and what a hit there by Ed Height.
Mr. Height took a little bit of the nasty this morning. He's been making some sticks out there. It looked like that was going to be a big gainer, and Ed Height came from nowhere and closed on that. But you saw no huddle have a first casualty there. It forced Harrison, had the wrong personnel out there, and it forced him into a timeout right before this. Had to burn a timeout in order to get the right personnel. We got Pinder flexed wide right.
In motion, instead they keep it in Key's hands, and Chris Key rambles near the 33, and Grandville with a touchdown, a first down rather. Ricky Bryant brought him down. And you mentioned earlier, Rob, the advantage of the no-huddle offense is that here in a 2-minute type situation, they don't have to change a thing that they've done all year.
And you come out in a different formation, the defense can't change their personnel. When they come out in a 4 wide or a spread formation like they're in now, the defense, as you can see, Harrison scrambling just a little bit.
The Harrison defense now trying to adjust and hold their ground. And that time brought down for little gain at all. Boy, Sean Mayberry, the nose guard, went down and got the ankles of Chris Key.
Harrison's also running a little bit of a flex with their nose man right now. It means they're setting them off the ball about a yard, half a yard. And sometimes when you do that, it enables you to do some games with your defensive tackles also. Here's a look at Chris Key. 14 carries, 70 yards. It's right around his average.
And we've got a timeout by Harrison here. I don't think that's a bad timeout for Harrison.
Oh, not at all. One thing that a lot of coaches have a hard time with is taking defensive timeouts, and I don't think there's anything wrong. What's the difference if you're using the timeouts for an offensive drive to get 7 or to use them with a defensive drive to stop 7?
One of the programs sponsored by the Michigan High School Athletic Association, which truly underscores the value of educational athletics, is the Scholar Athlete Award, sponsored by Farm Bureau Insurance. Over 2,500 applications are expected this year for the 24 $1,000 college scholarships which will be presented. Applications for this year's awards are closed, with the scholarship recipients to be honored at the boys basketball finals at the Breslin Student Event Center in East Lansing in March. Students interested in applying for the Scholar Athlete Award for the 1997-98 school year should contact their high school principal. It's a terrific program. The Scholar Athlete Award has been sponsored by Farm Bureau Insurance. They've done a terrific job with it. Second down, Morton for Vandenberg. Picked off by Harrison. Adam Smorecki gets the ball back for the Hawks.
We're going to see right here, Morton trying to throw right into the seam. Vandenberg wasn't even looking, but Smorecki was, and he steps up in front of it and intercepts it and stops the drive. Let's have another look at it here from the wide view. Excellent defensive play. Smorecki never took his eyes off Morton. Morton never took his eyes off Vandenberg, and that enables Smorecki to read it and step in front.
Smorecki now on offense goes in motion, and Grandville stops with exactly 2 minutes to go and counting. And what do you think? Is John Harrington willing to try to run out the clock here and get in the locker room?
Yeah, I think if you see him throw the ball, it's going to be something fairly conservative. This is a man that on 4th and 1 on the 42 also punted going in, so he believes in the fundamentals of field position with football. So if he puts the ball in the air, maybe a screen or something in a flat, that's fairly safe, because I don't think he wants to turn the ball over. He's got a 14-10 lead right now.
Second down and long. This is Sarsfield. And Sean Sarsfield, 5'11" senior.
This is kind of a neat right now. You got a kind of a cat and mouse. You know, Coach Troop's down here saying, gosh, do I call a timeout? It's 3rd and 3. If I stop him, I get the ball back. And Coach Harrington's thinking, it's 3rd and 3. Do I take a timeout and so we get another first down? We can keep it going. This is the wait and see down. I think you see Coach Troop take a quick timeout here if he stops him.
Yeah, it'll be crystal clear after this, because if Grandville stops, they'll want to get their hands back. And if Harrison gets the first down, they might still want to try to put one up.
You better hurry. He's going to get delay here.
Out of the power I, Sarsfield, the deep back. Now they send Sarsfield in motion. Bamenek for the first down across the 35.
That time he just took Nick Scheib out of the backfield in the flat like we predicted. Nothing too risky. He's not throwing the ball down the field. The only one who could catch it would be Scheib or someone on the sideline. And that's a pretty safe, not a conservative, but a real fundamentally sound call by Coach Harrington.
32, Nick Scheib there, had a 300-yard game against Country Day.
And we're going to spread it out here. You might see a little Hail Mary. We got some confusion, though.
And Grandville is confused as well. They'll call a timeout. Well, after a 21-point first quarter, 14 of them from Harrison. Only a Zach Elbert field goal for Grandville in the second quarter. But still plenty of action in this second period.
Right now, Coach Troop, or his defensive coordinator, is telling the kids, don't let anyone get deeper than you. You got to be as deep as the deepest as a secondary, as a safety or corner. They're going to soften up quite a bit. You're going to give them anything underneath, because right now they're still 62-yard away from a touchdown and probably 40 yards away from a field goal attempt, and there's only 27 seconds. You have to think football right here as a defender. Use common sense, not get sucked up on any play action. I mean, if they're going to run play action, if they're going to run the ball, who cares? They're not going to go 62 yards, so you let them run it. So you have to be fundamentally sound and believe in your techniques and stay back.
Got an excellent crowd, and if you have never taken in the state football finals on Thanksgiving weekend, we strongly suggest you do. I know so many people, as you do, Rob, that don't do it for years, and then they try it one time. It becomes a regular part of their Thanksgiving holiday.
You walk the concourse a little bit here, and you see a lot of the same faces from the same towns. This is not only the people from the communities playing, but these are people from all over the state of Michigan. Make a family weekend out of this, bring the young fellows, the young daughters down to the game, and enjoy a good weekend.
Following the timeout, Sarsfield in motion. They'll keep it on the ground, though, for about 4 or so. Clock moving with 20 seconds and counting. Greg Molchen. And now Harrison will call its final timeout. Not a bad idea there, as we get a look. Good to see number 66 back in there for Grandville. Jason Fritz, he was a young man who was injured earlier. One of 17 wrestlers on this Grandville football team. And boy, I tell you that, I guess they might know a little bit about holding, huh?
Yeah, I guess they're good grapplers, but a lot of the wrestlers will wear shirts that say, I play football in the off season too. They got a whole different mentality. That's a whole different world on the mat. I play with a young man at Grand Valley. His name is Ron Essink from Zeeland area. He was an All-American wrestler at NAI. He won the Nationals at NCAA Division II. And then he went to out to Oregon Division I and finished 6th. And he was a wrestler who got drafted by the Seattle Seahawks and ended up playing 7 years in the NFL. And the reason Seattle was so high on him because he had tremendous feet and athletic ability, and that came from the wrestling mat.
This game is part of our 3-week package of high school football championship coverage here on Pass Sports. Saturday afternoon at 5:30, you can catch the Class C finale between Ravenna and Morenci, followed by the Class B championship between Belding and Jackson-Lumen Christi on December 18th at 7 p.m. Stay with us all month as the best in high school championship sports coverage continues here on Pass. Bamenek scrambling, now running, and that should run out the first half.
Well, they sent Bryant down the sidelines, hoping he could get by the defender. Not only the corner was backing up, the safety was over giving help, and Bamenek just had to put under his arm, turn it up, and end the half.
The fans on their feet on both sidelines, and they well should, because both teams have played a very fine first half of football. with Farmington Hills Harrison leading Grandville 14-10 at the end of the first half of play. And you are watching the MHSAA on Pass.
The MHSAA On Pass is presented by Farm Bureau Insurance, proud sponsor of the MHSAA Scholar Athlete Award, and by the United Dairy Industry of Michigan, promoting healthy eating habits through the Sports Nutrition Award Program.
From the Silverdome, Farmington Hills Harrison in a very fine first half of football has a 4-point lead over the Grandville Bulldogs in the Class A finale. Scoring in the first quarter, 1-yard touchdown plunge by Kevin Bambanek for Farmington Hills Harrison. Zach Cornwell's kick made it 7-0. And then just 2.5 minutes later, Bambanek connected with Ricky Bryan on a 72-yard scoring toss. Cornwell's kick made it 14-0. Grandville came back, though, with 2:49 left in the first quarter. Chris Key's 1-yard plunge, followed by Zach Albert's conversion boot, made it 14-7. Albert added a 26-yard field goal, the only scoring of the second quarter, accounting for our 14-10 halftime lead. Looking forward to a lot of other things, so stay with us. One of your sponsors is Farm Bureau Insurance.
In every corner of the state, Michigan folks receive a special kind of insurance help from Farm Bureau Insurance agents. Help when it counts. People talking with people, and that'll never change. Wherever you live, whatever your lifestyle, your Farm Bureau agent is near you and has one objective.
We're making your future more predictable. Farm Bureau Insurance.
Farm Bureau Insurance.
Hey, cookies. Say, you know, I think our neighbor might like one, too.
Yeah? Well,
Here you go.
thank you.
Terrific. Excellent.
Got milk?
Come home to the Hilton Suites of Auburn Hills and enjoy the peaceful, quiet elegance and the warmth of our cozy lobby. You'll feel right at home within the confines of a large living room, a separate bedroom with a king-size bed, plus other comfortable amenities. Be it business or pleasure, come home to the Hilton Suites of Auburn Hills, located across from the Pontiac Silverdome.
Satisfaction guaranteed. That's what you get when you stay at the Drury Inn, home of the free Quick Start breakfast. Pastries, coffee, juices, and more. At Drury Inn, your comfort is important. That's why we offer a variety of amenities. We're your home away from home. Conveniently located near the action of the Pontiac Silverdome and the Palace of Auburn Hills, the Drury Inn welcomes the MHSAA football finals. The Drury Inn. You expect satisfaction, and you get it.
At halftime of this Class A championship game, you see Farmington Hills Harrison has a 4-point lead over Grandville in a very exciting first half of action. We're joined by MHSAA Executive Director Jack Robertson. Jack, I've got another great start to a big, exciting weekend of football here at the Silverdome.
Yes, it's a favorite weekend for a lot of folks, especially football fans. You can get a little overdose of football if you really want to stay here for 2 days and see all 8 games, but it's a marvelous spectacle. It's great to be indoors. Some of our other states across this nation are playing outdoors today and tomorrow, and we are thankful that we could be here in such a fine facility.
A constant theme from the MHSAA continues to be sportsmanship, and the schools made another commitment in that line this year.
That's right. By a 10-to-1 vote, our schools adopted an amendment to our Constitution that requires that all member schools have a code of good conduct, an educational program for teaching that code to its constituents, and then an enforcement program to make sure that it is followed through with. You know, our membership is free of charge. The schools don't pay anything to belong to the association. They enter our tournaments at no cost, so there's a feeling that being a member is an easy thing to do. We wanted to remind them that there are some responsibilities, and one of them is to maintain good sportsmanship in their programs.
We've seen a couple of good examples already in this first half of this game of that sportsmanship, and you know, we talk about the association, but really the real work has to be done by the schools in this area.
It does. The more local that the effort is made, the more effective it is. So we're encouraged when we see leagues and conferences with sportsmanship programs, and we're encouraged when we see school districts with good sportsmanship efforts. Most of our school districts do, and they're doing their best to maintain the appropriate standards of sportsmanship in an educational setting.
And while the natural focus on the schools, it really starts before that, before they ever get to school, back at home.
Yeah, we say good sportsmanship starts at home. We can't impose rules and policies and philosophies at game time unless they've been started at home, around the dinner table. Rules cannot just be manufactured at the last minute. They have to be something that kids live with all the time. High expectations start at home, they continue in the classroom, and then they're manifested in the athletic arena.
Jack, always great visiting with you.
Good to be with you, Rick.
We still got more to come. Stay with us. And one of your sponsors is the United Dairy Association.
Captain, here's your cookie.
Nope. Got milk?
Whether they live on the farm, in the country, the suburbs, or downtown, Farm Bureau Insurance serves them all. Life, home, retirement, auto, business.
We're making your future more predictable. Farm Bureau Insurance.
Farm Bureau Insurance.
Hey, you stink! 16, you stink! Come on! What? You play like a bunch of jerks. What? Wanna watch that? Hey! Nice stinking work.
Would you act like this at a high school game? If you were the only fan in the stands,
Nice way to play. That's beautiful.
next time, pretend you are.
In every corner of the state, Michigan folks receive a special kind of insurance help from Farm Bureau Insurance agents. Help when it counts. People talking with people, and that'll never change. Wherever you live, whatever your lifestyle, your Farm Bureau agent is near you and has one objective.
We're making your future more predictable. Farm Bureau Insurance.
Farm Bureau Insurance.
Back at the Pontiac Silverdome, Rick Berkey along with Rob Rubik, and we see Harrison on top. Let's look at some of the scoring plays here, Rob. First of all, Kevin Bamenek's 1-yard plunge.
Yeah, he just follows his center, Brian Lewis, over the top. Good drive, good motion in the front, enabled him to sneak in from one.
Then following, the Harrison Hawks get the ball back, and then Bamenek goes to the air.
Yeah, this is just excellent throw, excellent catch, well-executed play, Bamenek to Ricky Bryant. See Bryant finishing it off.
Get another look at it here. We see the arm strength and the speed of Mr. Bryant.
I mean, right in stride, Rick. That's excellent. You don't see that hardly that at the University of Michigan, let alone at the high school finals.
Which, of course, is where Ricky Bryant's brother plays at the University of Michigan. So that made it 14-0, and Grandville really needed a score. They moved it down to the 1, and then they called on number 30.
You see Chris Key right here running over the top a little bit of Ricky Bryant. Bryant, to his defense, didn't really have much of a chance, but a nice drive, culminated a nice drive.
Zach Elbert added the conversion, and then later a field goal to make it the 14-10. We look at the stats right here, almost exactly inverted between passing and rushing.
I think we're seeing a little bit more passing from Harrison. I thought we'd see a little more on the ground from him. Grandville's stats don't surprise me because they are not a passing team. We know through the course of the year that they are a running team. I think if Harrison's going to win this game, we have to see the rushing yardage kick up a little bit.
Time of possession, not a major factor. The turnovers, one apiece, a couple of interceptions, one by each quarterback. But the way each team is attacking, though, I guess you've got to look at it, a quarterback or a team's going to have a turnover or two.
Yeah, it's going to happen, especially on Harrison where you're a passing team, you're throwing the ball down the field a little bit.
We've still got plenty of action to come, so stay with us. It's 14-10 Harrison, and you are watching the MHSAA on Pass. Back at the Silverdome, just about ready to start the second half. Harrison on top by 4. Rob Rubik, let's talk about some type of adjustments, if any, that you see for each squad in the second half.
I think offensively both teams have to be fairly pleased with what has happened in the first half. I think Harrison may need to try to mix in a little bit more running, establish the running game a little bit more. Their passing game has been pretty effective. In Grandville, vice versa, maybe needs to throw on first down a little bit, even though they're not a passing team, just to keep the 8-9 guys from crowding the line of scrimmage, as Harrison has done. That one time they did get it to Pinder, the tight end. It was about a 25-yard gain in the flat. So, but basically, I think Grandville also maybe try to mix up their formations a little, Rick, to give them some different looks.
Grandville will get the football there as Doug Troop tries to rally his troops in the second half of play. Zach Cornwell, the fine kicker for Harrison, will boot it away. Good look at Zach, number 23. And Eric Vandenberg, the speedy one, standing back at the 4-yard line. Many teams have kicked away from Vandenberg this year, but Matt Laris and Jimmy Lee backing him up, but Vandenberg will get a chance here from the 7. Looking for a seam, and he gets about a 20-yard return out near the 28-yard line. So Grandville will start it out in decent position as Chris Burgess made the tackle for the Hawks.
Once again, Grandville comes right out in their no-huddle offense, led by quarterback Dick Morton. When he gets to the line, he gets the play from the sideline. Coach Troop calls it from the side, sends it in, and he relays it to his players at the line of scrimmage.
They'll stay in that formation, as they have done for much of the season. They'll try to keep it on the ground with Chris Key in the first down. That's what they do again, who slams his way for about 3 or 4. Brian Lewis brought him down for Harrison. He got about 4. There's Dick Morton, and he has the responsibility of making the adjustments. He gets the signal from the sideline, Rob, but he can and often will make changes at the line depending on the defense. He may be making a change right now on 2nd down and 6. Off the left side, and Key rambles for a first down to the 40. Let's talk a little bit, Rob, about the type of quarterback you need to run a no-huddle situation.
First of all, the first and foremost has to be extremely intelligent. Second of all, he has to be a leader because he has to take charge at line of scrimmage. Here's the replay. Once again, Chris Key getting about 3 or 4 more yards once he's made first contact with the defense. But he has to be a leader, he has to be intelligent, and he has to be able to stay cool because things sometimes get a little frazzled, they get hectic, and he has to be the one to take charge.
On first down, Chris Key sidesteps big Mr. Goshy and then gets hammered. Boy, he just missed. Fortunately for him, did Key. Goshy, who was coming in, but Ed Height, who has played a whale of a game defensively, stopped him after a short gain.
Sets up a 2nd and 8. Once again, you can see 11 Harrison Hawks within 5 yards of the football.
They're almost daring him to throw the ball here. On the counter, Vandenberg with room to run. Oh, hammered down hard in Harrison territory. Very close to first down yardage.
That time Francis Goshai had a chance to get him in the backfield, but Vandenberg showed, we're going to get a look here. Goshai was going to come up the field. Vandenberg's going to come on the counter and make a miss and cut it up inside. As Goshai gets rid of the defender, looks like he has a good shot at him, and he just makes him miss, can't quite get a hand on him.
And Ricky Bryant delivers a good hit there. Not only takes a few hits on offense, he can send it back the other way for the Harrison Hawks.
I just saw Ricky at halftime because I went to get a Coney dog. He was also at the concession stand. I'm just kidding, Rick.
He does everything.
He does. He was back on he's wide man on the punt. He's on kickoff receive. He plays safety on defense, wide receiver on offense. I was really surprised that we didn't see him at the concession stand. But I did see you ahead of me in line.
That was a given. First down for the Grandville Bulldogs, who'll try to duplicate what the Harrison Hawks did with their first possession of the first half, when they marched it all the way down, culminated in Kevin Bambanek's 1-yard touchdown plunge.
Ed Height with 7 tackles and 2 assists and just over half of work. That's phenomenal.
Lee in motion. Instead, Chris Key will take it. Again, another nice block by center Pat Cole. Also some good help on the left side of the line, and a big, healthy first down pickup before Mr. Ed Height, again, who's been in there all day, was again for Harrison on the tackle.
Here's a stat on Chris Key and his rushing yards this evening. He has about 16 yards. Here it is, right here. 18 carries for 90 yards. And I tell you what, about 50 of those yards have been after the first hit.
Plowing off the right side is Key for a first down. You know, we've talked about what the no-huddle does as far as defensive adjustments, but something I think that's overlooked is because of what it does to the game, it'll give you a couple of extra possessions over the course of a game.
It's a long game. I mean, you're going to have the ball. We watched the game last week, and there it is right up the middle. Look at him carrying Ed Height. Him and Ed Height are getting to know each other extremely well. They'll probably be pen pals after this game. They've been together so much.
Dogs will keep it on the ground with Jimmy Lee this time, and Lee explodes for about 8.
We're seeing the other thing that the no-huddle does right now is it gets the defense just a little bit tired to get you back on your heels, but it's hard. Remember, all 11 defenders have got to run to the ball. On offense, your linemen make the block, but they're usually not running down the field. Here's a look at it. Chris Key leading through a good kick out on number 50, on Brian Lewis, and he just turns it up inside. Jimmy Lee with a nice run.
And Morton falls on it. Grandville will keep it, but I was just about to say before that play, Rob, it seemed to me that Grandville's running that no-huddle even a little bit quicker. It seemed they picked it up even a little bit in between plays.
Yeah, that time the fumble was caused, Rick, by some good inside penetration on exchange. We're going to see right here. Let's get a number. That's an excellent. I can't quite get a number. It might have been either Height or Lewis. I'm not sure which one that was. Inside got some good penetration at the exchange to force the fumble.
3rd and 5. He will drive for the first down. Boy, I talked about him running straight up style. That time he put the head down like a bull, and number 30 keeps the drive going for the Dogs.
You're going to see right here, this is just straight ahead. What they do is like a belly. He'll bounce it outside just a little bit. Right here, they block down. He goes outside. Oh, nice inside block by Jimmy Lee just to seal Height. That's a good job.
On the counter, Vandenberg sprints up the middle. Inside the 10, first and goal, Grandville.
Well, this is what do you do in your defense? They pound you with the fullback, and all of a sudden they fake to the fullback, and they give it to Vandenberg right here on the wing counter. A good kick out by Jimmy Key, number 60, blocking down, does a nice job. He turns it up in the hole, and Vandenberg shows why he ran over 1,300 yards. Sets up a first and goal at the 6-yard line.
Grandville trying to take the lead. It would be its first advantage of the contest. And they take it as Chris Key bursts up the middle, and the Bulldogs are on top, 16-14.
Oh, nothing fancy. We've seen the same play about 6 times on this one drive. It's just a fullback straight ahead. Some excellent offensive line blocking. Here it is. We have the center and the left guard block. We have a little cross block between them. That's a nice job, an excellent job by number 67 for Grandville.
Zach Elbert, who already has an extra point and a field goal in this contest, will attempt to make it 17-14. Kirby Jackson kneels, and the kick is good. It's 17-14 Grandville. Stay with us. One of your sponsors is the United Dairy Industry of Michigan.
It's time for a look back at Michigan high school sports history with a front row flashback. In the 92 Class A championship, Reese Puffer trails Walled Lake Western late in the game. Then the Rockets pull off the flea flicker. Quarterback Jeff Zietlow launching the Hail Mary that's tipped and picked up by flanker Stacy Starr, who then waltzes into the end zone with the winning score. The Reese Puffer Rockets take home the trophy as the 92 Class A champions.
The mystery of the blinking rings. And now, my finest illusion. Voila! Empty! Thank you! Thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, no, please don't get up. You're too kind. Thank you. It's not necessary for you to...
Got milk.
Ow!
Grandville has the lead. And Zach.
Here we go right here. We're going to get a look, Rick. We got a cross block, which means the center's kicking out. The guard comes behind him and kicks out here, and it's just straight ahead with the fullback. The center blocks back. The guard loops behind. And they also come down inside with the right guard to get to the linebacker. Well blocked.
On the kickoff, it's a short one again. Some confusion taken by an up man, Tom Sally. And Tom does a nice job to get it back across the 35. Well, we saw going into that break that memory back of the Muskegon Miracle. Muskegon Reese Puffer on that flea flicker to win it at the end. That was a great high school state championship memory. Here we see the up kick. And Sally, good concentration. His own teammate banged into him.
The pooch kick has been very effective for Grandville today. The biggest thing it does is it keeps Ricky Bryant from touching the football.
Jason Krieger on the tackle for Grandville. And now Harrison will try to counter the Grandville score. And the deep back, Sean Sarsfield. Got a few hard-earned yards off the left side. Nick Phelps brought him down for the Bulldogs.
Well, being in the 17-14 game is nothing new for Harrison. They had a couple blowouts early in the year. It was a scoring drive, 11 plays, 71 yards, 432. But for most of the season, in the conference division area, and it's probably one of the toughest ones in the state of Michigan, they had a lot of wars. So they were in some close games, and this is nothing new for them.
They were down big in the semifinals last week. Bambenek will be hit and dropped in the backfield. Brian Pinder was there first, number 80.
I tell you what, when he rolled out to his left and he looked back to the right, he was like a deer in the headlights as Pinder came closing in on him. He tried to, you see here, he does a little play action. He's rolling to the left. Receivers are covered, so he's going to turn back to the right. But here comes Pinder with a beat on him. And he actually does a nice job of eluding Pinder, the first tackler. Picks up a couple yards, but sets up a 3rd and 11.
Bambenek on 3rd and long will set up the screen to Sarsfield. He's got blockers, and he's got a first down. Well-executed screenplay. Sarsfield needed a dozen and got 13.
Nice job of deception. They do a little play action. Little fake, comes out, rolls out to the right, looking right, lets it develop back to the left. One defender was there, I think it was Krebs, but nice job by the Harrison offensive lineman, enabled him to pick up the 13 necessary yards. Much needed.
I like the way Sarsfield cut against the grain with that screenplay, and Bambenek will put it up again. Diving effort, but incomplete. Ricky Bryant, the sophomore. And Brian Pinder putting pressure all over Kevin Bambenek, who did a pretty good job just getting rid of it. And then Bryant showed his individual talent here, almost coming up with a circus catch.
Yeah, Nick Scheib, Pinder was able to slip through by Scheib that time, and he got the pressure on Bambenek. And the ball was just a little bit underthrown. Bryant made a nice effort coming back for it, but it sets up a 2nd and 10.
I like the play-action fakes of Bambenek as well.
They do a nice job. It'd be a little more effective if the running game was a little more productive now, because they're not respecting the play action quite as much.
room for Sarsfield on the sprint draw. And he got about half of the first down yardage. Kelly Krebs and Nick Phelps combined to bring him down. I'll call it 3rd and 4 for Harrison with 5:21 to go in our third quarter. A very entertaining Class A championship game from the Pontiac Silverdome.
That time they ran the sprint draw, Rick, and that's what the play action they've been showing all day is off the sprint draw. But that's the first time they've actually run the ball instead of doing the play action. They've shown the fake a few times. That time they actually gave it on the sprint draw.
Bambenek will try to throw for it. Incomplete. Double coverage over there. Brian Pueller in there, number 4. And the Bulldogs should get it back.
Well, that time they did a little bit of a play fake to the left. You see, they rolled him out to the right, and they took hold to tight end and dragged him underneath. But well covered. I think it was Krebs was in there, number 8. Or number 4, I'm sorry. Was in there to break it up.
Harrison will shift out of their tight formation into a standard punting formation. Vandenberg is the only back to receive. And at the 8-yard line, he'll take it, fumble it, or did he keep it? If he did hold on to it, I don't know how. Ricky Bryant, number 1, right down there, right on top of him. About the same time the football got there.
Well, that time Eric was about on the 9-yard line. He reached down. Oh, he dropped it, but he's living right. But I'm not sure if he even should try to field that ball on the inside the 10-yard line. You might want to just let it bounce and try to go into the end zone.
Ricky Bryant played that on the punt coverage to perfection. Wonder who her favorite player is. I think it's quarterback Dick Morton, number 18 on her cheek. Cheerleaders on both sides cheering up a storm. Grandville starts deep in its own territory with its second possession of the half. This is Jimmy Lee off the right side. You don't see Jimmy Lee run with the ball for Grandville too often when it's not some type of counter.
Well, coming from the wing, they run the Air Force broken bone where they have the double wing, and that time Jimmy actually didn't run the counter, but he ran the lead, where he comes in motion and he follows Key up through the hole. Usually Vandenberg runs that play, but that was the first time we've seen Jimmy Lee run the keep behind Chris Key.
2nd down and 8. We approach the 4-minute mark here, left in the third quarter. Key will bang for a few, bring up about a 3rd down and 5 for Grandville. Kind of that transition stage of the football game. Grandville has the lead, but momentum right now is kind of hanging in the neutral zone.
Yeah, it's kind of like a prize fight in the 8th to 9th round right now. They're kind of still feeling each other out. We can see who has the best stamina, who can start kicking in gear in the end when it really matters. Big play, Rick. 3rd and 4.
Derek Buford is split out wide to the left for Grandville. They'll give it on the counter. Vandenberg traverses his field, but a great reaction there defensively by the Hawks.
A great series for Harrison.
Adam Smerecki.
It's exactly what they were looking for. Coach Harrington could have possibly went for it. He had 4th down and 3 on about the 42. Here it is. Going to look at it. It's actually going to be he's looking for the cutback right out of the get-go, but there's nothing there. Good job. But who's that? Big number 70.
It's Goshy. Correct. I'm sorry. That's Steve Chappell. No, I'm correcting myself again. It's Mike Fisher. Give me enough choices, I'll get it right. Dick Morton to punt. And he booms it out of there. Coming down to Sarsfield at the 40. Gets by one man and runs into his own blocker.
Excellent punt by Dick Morton. What a weapon that is.
About a 50-yard punt, just about.
What a 40-yard net. Tremendous.
But Harrison will still start in excellent field position at its own 46. See the 3-point lead for Grandville with 2:43 left in our third quarter. The Class A State Football Championship on the line from the Pontiac Silverdome. An excellent crowd here at the Dome. Why not? You come to the finals on Thanksgiving weekend, you get 2 games for the price of 1. On 1st down, they'll give it to Nick Scheib. And imagine that Scheib had over 300 yards, number 32 in your picture there, in one game. A lot of guys don't get that in a career. And against Country Day, a strong team. Chad Goosen brought him down.
Scheib, I believe he's a 3-year starter for Harrison. The brother that played here has done an excellent job. Coach Harrington was saying that he is one of the ones to watch today, along with his quarterback, Bambenek.
That power eye on 2nd down and 7. Pressure from the backside. Delivers to Sarsfield. Well, I don't know if Bambenek didn't see the pressure coming from the backside or not, but whether he did or didn't, as Chad Goosen closed in on him, he held his ground and delivered a perfect strike.
A great job by Bambenek. That time Sarsfield, they went in a power eye. He was like the left up back, and he just did a circle route out of the backfield and came back across the middle, and Bambenek was able to find him.
So the Hawks down by 3 into Grandville territory. This is Matt Reed, the sophomore, and he'll lose a few, I should say. Maybe I should say he'll try to avoid Nate Gibbs, number 61.
Well, his defense, there was nothing there from the beginning. Good penetration by the right side of the defensive line for Grandville.
It was Nick Phelps, my correction on the tackle.
You see right here, a good job standing him up, making him go east and west instead of north and south.
You're right, Matt had no choice there. He's a sophomore, who's been very impressive since joining the varsity.
What an excellent job that time by the Grandville defense.
2nd and long now for the Hawks, who sends Sarsfield in motion. Little overthrown, looking for Sarsfield. Sarsfield's already made 2 key 3rd down catches for the Hawks. That time it was Brian Pinder.
Now, he's been their top receiver. A lot of times they like to motion him across the formation and get him out into the flats or to the hook area. That time they motioned him across and threw just overthrown about 2 yards over his head. He actually was open for a little bit.
1 second less than 1 minute to go in our 3rd period. 3rd and 14. And Bryant is split out wide to the left, right in front of his own bench. Let's see if they go long to him. Over the middle. Caught at the 11-yard line. Mike Hode with his 2nd outstanding catch of the game. But there's a flag, and it's going to come back.
Wow.
What a shame for Mike Hode. Remember, he made a catch of over 30 yards in the first half. And boy, did he take a hit there.
Look at that. What a excellent throw by Bambenek. Right in between 2 defenders, just running the seam down the middle of the field. Hogue had great concentration. But we got a holding call, another big penalty against Harrison. On a 3rd and 15, it had 1st down on about the 11-yard line. Instead, we're going to be looking at about a 3rd and quarter mile.
Well, Mike Hode has shown us as a sophomore, along with Ricky Bryant, boy, those 2 guys are going to be haunting schools on the east side for another couple of years.
Yeah, Steve, our spotter, and I were looking at their roster before the game, and he said, you got a feeling we're going to see Harrison here next year and maybe even the year after? You got a real young team yet, and there's nothing but good things in the future for this club. Not that there hasn't been excellent things in the past for him either.
You mentioned how John Harrington told you before the game.
And holding on the offense. Still 3rd down.
How this team just did not have, the dominant stars they've had in the past. And from a coaching standpoint, that makes it fun. That really is more fun than usual. 3rd and real long.
He's got him again.
Hode has got it near a 1st down. That same play, I've got to think, Rob, they spotted something on game films because this is the 3rd time they've gone to this play.
Now all they're doing is seeing him come right down through the center of the field here, and the linebacker can't quite get turned around in time, and he can't run with Hode. It shows a little bit better speed. There's another look, Bambenek under pressure. I love the way this kid stays in the pocket. Nothing phases him, either from the side or from the front. Right in his face, he stays there and throws a strike right down the middle of the field.
They needed 29.5 yards for a 1st down. They got 29. So 4th down and a half yard with 30 seconds to go in the quarter. Harrison obviously will go for it on 4th.
Bambenek has 216 yards passing, a new Class A finals record.
score for the Hawks to the 17. They'll set the chain, start the clock, and that might be our final play of the quarter. Already a new Class A record for Kevin Bambenek.
Wow, what a great job by the lead blocker that time. Number 23, Zach Cornwell, backup running back, did an excellent job. Seeing some power eye right now. Harrison's pinning their ears back.
Bambenek will keep it on the bootleg and is bumped out of bounds as the third quarter comes to an end. Well, 3 exciting periods of play complete. Grandville has the lead, but Harrison is knocking on the door. You keep it right here because you're watching the MHSAA on Pass.
And he just can't run with him.
Back at the Pontiac Silverdome, Farmington Hills Harrison behind the arm of Kevin Bambenek, who has already set a new Class A championship game record, and he's moving towards an all-time all-class championship record, just 20 yards away from that, Rob. And Harrison fans, I think, are familiar with who holds that record.
Mill the Thrill. Noah Coleman is a record holder at 238. And it looks like could be very much in danger with still a whole quarter to play.
For this same Harrison squad, only that time they were a Class B school back in 1988. Right now they're trying to take the lead. Harrison is. Sarsfield got a couple. It's going up about 3rd down and 3.5 for the Hawks as we start the 4th quarter.
Sean Sarsfield tries to cut back that time. There was nothing there. The left side of the defensive line of Grandville stayed home nicely. Sets up a 3rd and 5, Rick. This is a big play of the game, and you got to wonder if they don't have success, are they going to kick? Or are they going to go for it?
You got to think ahead. They've got a nice kicker. Watch Sarsfield in motion. They're looking for him in the corner of the end zone, and it's broken up. Kirby Jackson and Brian Pueller on the coverage. But let's see, they're sending the field goal team on the field. And the Hawks, in the first minute of play of the 4th quarter, trying to tie it up here, apparently so.
Here's a close-up of Nate Golan coming out. He's the one that applies the pressure. It was the same play. They've had some success with getting Sarsfield into the flat, but that time it was well covered, and they brought Ricky Bryant deep across on a drag route, but he was also covered.
Zach Cornwell has kicked 5 field goals this year. This would be a 29-yarder, and he ties it up. Cornwell deadlocks the game at 17 points apiece. And this game continues to get better. It started out good, and it hasn't changed a whole lot.
We got a dandy, Rick. It's a 17-17 game, beginning of the 4th quarter. Right when you think Grandville has the momentum, Harris comes back and puts a drive together.
Well, keep it here. This is the MHSAA Championship Network.
The MHSAA On Pass is presented by Farm Bureau Insurance, proud sponsor of the MHSAA Scholar Athlete Award, and by the United Dairy Industry of Michigan, promoting healthy eating habits through the Sports Nutrition Award Program, and by these advertisers.
are deadlocked. Here in the fourth quarter, Zach Cornwell, who tied the game up, will boot it away at the 40 for Farmington Hills Harrison. And he kicks it strong to Eric Vandenberg, who will take it at the 6. Looking for a hole. Gets by one man. And another. Eric Vandenberg out to the 43. It didn't look like there was a whole lot there.
I think we may have a face mask tacked on to the end of this also. Vandenberg does a nice job. The return is set up, designed to go to the middle. But right here, he decides that, well, it's nothing there. He's going to pop it back outside.
Good field.
Hode has a hand of his on his jersey, but can't quite get him. Height comes in. Looks like he has him. Can't quite get him. Schmesnik comes in.
Wow.
Face mask. On the kicking team. First down.
Good field position. Just became tremendous field position for Grandville. Starting at the 42 of Harrison. What do you think, Rob? We could be looking at an overtime game here.
Oh, I don't know, but one thing about Harrison, if Grandville does punch it in here, take it in, the way they can throw the ball, they don't need much time.
This is Chris Key, the fullback for 2.
Tell you what, Chris Key will sleep well tonight. About 20 carries for him now, over 20 carries. And he hasn't gone 2 steps without one of the Harrison Hawks being right in his face either.
Mike Fisher was the Hawk meeting him head on that time. 2nd and 7 for the Dogs. With 10.5 to go here in our fourth quarter. Second back through is Jimmy Lee. And holding on for dear life, making the tackle, I believe that was Adam Smarecki.
God, grab his face mask.
Whoever it was, if he hadn't held on, Lee had plenty of room to ramble.
Here's a look at it. They lead with Chris Key. Jimmy Lee coming behind, tries to get outside. Oh, might have been a little bit of gray. He was grabbing something there. Number 8, defensive back, Kareem Smart.
My apologies. I think it was Sarsfield on the tackle that time for the Hawks. On 3rd down, Chris Key will blast off the left side to the 30.
Third and 5, and you run a dive to your fullback. And you know that right here we see it. There's a nice little hole. They come back inside with the wing. It's the first time I've really noticed that. What they do is they bring the wing, and he kind of leads. He comes from the wing and leads up through the hole.
On 1st down, Key up the middle will get 5 or 6. And what a difference that makes when you get 5 or 6 on 1st down with this no huddle, especially giving you the options, is Ed Height, who's had himself a career in one day, makes yet another tackle for Harrison.
Well, when you can run the fullback dive like this or the belly, you got them back on their heels because that just sets up your counter. We have a little confusion right now with the Harrison defense. Looks like Grandville waited for him, being the good sportsmen they are.
Morton wants to throw for it. There's nobody available. He'll cut against the grain. Dick Morton all the way down to the 10.
Well, these are the ones that the coaches design on Sunday night. You go back there, quarterback, you try to hit the tight end in the flat. If he's not there, you run around for 20 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Morton showing the emotion of the moment.
A great job by Harrison. They've been running the ball. They come out with a pass on 1st down, and they look for Pinder in the flat, but it wasn't there. Morton, you see here, just does the rest on his own. Excellent athletic ability.
Doesn't he know he should be pretty tired by now? Just outside the 10 on 1st down. Vandenberg hurdles to the 6. Ed Height again on the tackle for Harrison.
Well, if you can't go right or you can't go left, you go over the top. And Eric Vandenberg showed it that time where he had the hole clogged up. And he showed why he's considered one of the finest athletes in the football field on the west side of the state.
There's Sean Sarsfield, who brother Chris also played for the Harrison Hawks when they won the title back in 1992.
That's where Harrison's been getting tough, though. Timeout, a little confusion by the Harrison defense. Got some personnel problems. Once again, the no-huddle offense comes into play.
Down below us, the Grandville crowd, and it's a big one, roaring as the team will come over and meet Coach Doug Troop. Videotapes of this year's MHSAA football finals are available for purchase through Advanced Video Service in Columbiaville. Each game is $24, may be ordered by writing Advanced Video Service, 5547 Columbiaville Road, Columbiaville, Michigan. 48421 on the zip. Allow 4 to 6 weeks for delivery. And boy, what a treasure that'll be for the people involved with these two schools here many years to come.
On games like this, I know it's one of the old cliches, but you hate to see someone lose because it's been such a war. Great sportsmanship shown throughout the course of the game.
Well, spotter Dan Edwards predicted a 4 overtime game going into the game. Now, that's not out of line.
I gotta eat lunch yet. I don't want to be here at 4 o'clock. Two things that the no huddle does for you when you design it as a coach. One is it gets the team fatigued on defense. We're seeing that. And two is it gives them disoriented or they're having a hard time with their defensive calls and forces them to use some timeouts that they wouldn't like to. And on this drive alone, they've had to take 2 timeouts because of personnel problems.
2nd and 6 for the Dogs. Key will burst near the 2. He's short of a first down by about a yard, I believe.
We're going to look at this last. Well, watch the push we're getting right up here. I keep talking about Chris Key, but watch the front three, the 2 guards in the center. We're getting some tremendous push. It's the cross block again, but he's not getting touched to probably a yard to 2 yards past the line of scrimmage. When your fullback doesn't get touched to a yard and a half, 2 yards down, you know you're going to have a positive play.
Ball spotted at the 3. It's 3rd and 2 from the 3. And Key to the 1. He did not get in, but he might have a first down.
I think they're calling.
See if we need a measurement here to determine.
Here's a close-up of Chris Key that time. Harrison did a good job. The linebackers really did a nice job.
Pop there by Brian McGee, number 58. And they will bring the sticks in for a crucial measurement, but we've got to think, Rob, if this is short, that despite the fact that Grandville has an excellent kicker in Zach Elbert, they would go for it if it was short. And it is.
Oh. Yeah,
whoa. What do you do here, Coach?
I go for it because even if you don't make it, Rick, you got him on the half-yard line. You got to have some confidence. You got one of the best running attacks in the state. And you got a fullback right now who's a man amongst boys out there playing. He's just been running like a man the whole day. So I got to believe I give it to number 30 straight ahead. They're on their feet.
Well, forget the no huddle now. It's 4th down.
It's mano-a-mano time.
A couple of feet. And Morton will keep it. Touchdown! Dick Morton just slid off the rear end of his center, Pat Cole, and gave the Dogs the lead once again.
That time, all it was we're going to come at you with the sneak. The center and 2 guards for Grandville. It's got a great push. Morton hopped on the back. He followed it in. Pat Cole, the center, a 5'9", 195-pound senior, was the leader on that one. A big conversion here.
Out of Kirby Jackson's hold, Kelly Krebs' long snap. And the kick gives Grandville a 7-point lead.
We're going to have a look at the touchdown here. Got a 24-17 game. That time, nothing fancy, Rick. They drive the ball down the field. You're going to see right here. Once again, it's just a quarterback sneak. He's going to pick a side. We got Shive right up in the hole. Look at that. 71. Goshai just ran by it a little bit and followed his big center, Pat Cole. And what an excellent drive for Grandville. When it felt like maybe Harrison was starting to get the momentum a little bit, they come back with that drive. It was 9-play, 57-yard drive. 1:33 in their running team. That's incredible.
Let's remember, Grandville was down 14-0. They have scored 24 of the next 27 points.
Well, now we're going to see. This is one time, though, throughout the course of the game, we know that Harrison's been primarily a passing team. And it kind of bothers you as a coach. You like to establish the run, but in a situation like this, Rick, where you're down 7 and the clock does become a factor, it's great to have that asset, have a quarterback like Bamanek back there distributing the football.
And Harrison would love to get the ball in the hands of number 1, Ricky Bryant, on this kickoff. Zach Elbert will kick it away. He's been kicking the ball primarily away from Bryant. And let's see if he continues that. In fact, Bryant has moved all the way up to the 14-yard line, along with